Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's an honor to be here with all of you. Dan Dennett and I were at a meeting of atheists, an atheist convention actually, about a month ago, and I had the good sense at that meeting to stand up in front of 500 of the most committed atheists in the country and say that atheism as a philosophy was bankrupt and as a word was disastrous, and we should not use the term. This had more or less the effect that any social scientist in this room could have warned me about. I think this was the only talk I had ever been to that began with a standing ovation and ended with some scarcely mammalian sounds of disgruntlement. Incidentally, Dan's talk began with a standing ovation and ended with one, and I noticed that that conduces to a better mood later in the evening. Anyway, Roger asked me to briefly summarize my misgivings with the concept of atheism and also talk a little bit about what my experience has been since our last meeting, as I have spent much of that time spreading joy to the world by publicly criticizing religion. My concern with the use of the term atheism, and here I'm going to echo something that Michael Shermer said, is that it invites a variety of misunderstandings, and it's philosophically really without content. I mean, we don't need a word like atheist. In the same way, we don't need a word for somebody who's not an astrologer. And we simply do not call people non-astrologers. And I don't think we would be tempted to if astrology suddenly became ascendant in our society. All we need are words like reason and evidence and common sense and bullshit to put astrologers in their place. And so it could be with religion. Now my point with the term atheism, or really any label, naturalist, skeptic, humanist, secular humanist, bright, is that it invites misunderstandings and unnecessarily trims down our constituency. Because the truth is, on any specific question, a majority of people, even in America, functionally reject religious thinking. I mean, you take a question like, and this is from sexual ethics to medical research, you take something like embryonic stem cell research. A majority of Americans already reject the authority of religion on this subject. And so most people, many more people than would ever answer to the name of atheist, see on any specific question that there is a conflict between science and religion. I'm sure many of you in this audience are functionally atheists, and yet would never dream of going to an atheist conference or blogging on an atheist website. So it seems to me that if we want to encourage public displays of rationality, rallying people to the banner of atheism, or any banner that suggests that we are a maligned and marginal and cranky interest group, is a bad strategy.